Well, Matthew Nyindam is the Member of Parliament for Pandai constituency. You remember that later part of last year, there was a ruling by the Tamale High Court that nullified the election that elected him as the representative of the people of Pandai. It led to Parliament declaring his seat vacant. The EC communicated a day that they were going to conduct a by-election, but his lawyers filed a certiorari at the Supreme Court, calling on the Supreme Court to quash the ruling of the Tamale High Court. The Supreme Court earlier this year, they also ruled that yes, they have upheld the argument by lawyers of Matthew Nyindam and have subsequently quashed the ruling of the Tamale High Court. So today he is back here as a representative of Pandai, back in Parliament as well. Yesterday I saw him contribute on the floor. I was like, hey, welcome back, contribution. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Kwajo.
I hope all is well.
By the grace of God, I'm doing good.
How was it like moving from Parliament to the constituency, knowing that you were going to face a by-election?
Okay, let me say good morning to you, and then good morning to MFA. And then good morning to the people of Pandai. Very grateful to them for their support and everything. And to your viewers. Well, I felt like I wasn't treated fairly. I wasn't treated fairly. The day we went to Tamale, the Tamale judgment, we had a hint of it because of the way the NDC in Pandai behaved. About 3 to 4 days before the judgment, they were all over there preparing the constituency for a rerun. And everywhere you went on their social media, rerun. So we said, what was it that was going on? Mm-hmm. So when we got to Tamale and the caliber of persons we saw at the court, we knew that the judgment was not going to be in our favor.
Okay.
But it was two things. They went to the court for 41 polling stations that the issues were raised on. So we're not too sure what the judge was coming to say. But for him to come and say we should completely go and run the entire constituency confirms the behavior of the NDC in Pandai. So we thought we were going to be given the opportunity for the appeal and all those processes. Only for us to come back to Parliament, and some few days, the seat was declared vacant. And that was where I felt I wasn't treated fairly. Because it now clearly shows that there's been a plan from the one to the end to out me from Parliament prematurely. And for no reason, because the election was won. I won the election clearly. I'm sure that maybe time will give us the opportunity to even mention some of the issues they raised at the appeal court and why the judge agreed with them and all those things. So it's now Matthew against the state, which means that the possibility of me coming to Parliament was like, well, maybe 50-50. Although I knew it was an ordinary election, I would have beaten him any day. But to run election with the state was a different story. Because everybody in government, almost everybody, let me say that way, would have been there. The ministers will go there, the MPs will come there, CEOs will come there. The goodies that will flow is enough to switch individuals' mind. So it was like, well, let's see what God will do. At the end of the day, I just said, look, there is a destiny in my life. If it's destined to happen, it will happen. If I have to come back to Parliament again, I was going to fight it with all my blood. But at the end of the day, God knew that maybe a day like this will come, and it has come.
Were you sad?
I was sad because of the way Parliament treated me. I was sad. For that angle, I was sad. Because this is not the first time an MP had a problem after elections. The precedent is there. We can count them. We can count no less than 4 or 5. We can talk about my uncle Dan Abudakwe's case, where he was handed over a jail sentence. He has to go to jail. His seat was not declared vacant. The seat was there until he got a presidential pardon and even came back.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Then this Eric Amwati, who was also caught with some drug issues, his seat was not completely declared until all legal things were exhausted, to the extent that they realized that they have to go for a by-election, which they went. Mion had the same issue. Dr. What's the name? One doctor, I forgot the name, Yakubu, also had issue. The courts ruled that he was not duly elected. They have to go to appeal court. His seat was not declared vacant. He had opportunity to go to the appeal court. Then the verdict was overturned. He went back to Parliament and said, so why is Matthew's case different? That was where I was a bit sad, because it was very short, very, very short. The verdict was on the 24th of November 2025 from the Tamale High Court. Then by 30th, we have to go for elections in Pandai. It was very sad, very, very sad.
If you say Parliament didn't treat you fairly,
yes,
were you expecting Parliament to act differently? Because the law is straight. That when a seat is declared vacant, there's a number of days that, or when there's an issue with the seat, the clerk to Parliament has to notify the Electoral Commission. Someone will say he did his work.
No. So that is where the issue is.
Okay.
When the courts in Tamale declared the seats or declared the elections null and void, we had opportunity to appeal. So in the appeal process, you first stay of execution and then you have the opportunity to appeal. Okay. So we took steps and Parliament was fully aware. If you look at I think on the 26th or 27th, when we're doing the budget debates, I got up on the floor to debate, and that is where all these issues actually started. Yeah. Dafeamekpor resisted and did not allow me to debate. So the following day, the speaker came and ruled on it, and even made them aware that even if I hadn't appealed, I had automatic 7 days to act as a member of Parliament. Yeah. And if I had appealed, the process...
It adds another layer.
It adds another layer.
Yeah.
Okay. So that is the process. So we had appealed. We'd gone to the Supreme Court by then. We've gone to serve Parliament with all this notice that, look, we haven't exhausted the legal process. So if we're still in court, why will you declare the seat vacant? That's where I said I wasn't treated fairly. Because all others who had similar challenges were given the opportunity to use the legal process to the end.
So you are very sure that Parliament was served the processes?
Yes. Even when the seat was declared vacant, my lawyers have to even come out with a proof of service. Gary and the team came out with a proof of service. And we even went to court again to actually file contempt case against Parliament on all these cases, because the Parliament was duly served. And under normal circumstances, they should have allowed me exhaust the legal process, so that if turned out that I was actually guilty and the seat has to be declared vacant, so be it. But I wasn't given that opportunity. And that's where I felt like I wasn't treated like others. Yeah.
But there were issues in the constituency which the court should have gone into, not so.
Yes, so if you look at what they actually sent to court, and let me also say, I thank God for this verdict from the Supreme Court. May God bless the jury that sat on this case. They've done all of us some good. Although they've not gone into the merits of the case, because that's not what we went to the court with. We couldn't have gone there. You can't go to the Supreme Court with this issue. We went there with a different matter, which has to do with the certiorari, and has to do with the time of filing of their application, which was way, way above the constitutional mandate, which maybe we'll get opportunity to come to do. If you look at the merit of the issues, and like I said, I thank God that this verdict did not stay, and nobody can make references to it in future. You are going into an elections, and people sometimes forget that we do 2 elections one day. It is a presidential and a parliamentary elections.
Yes.
It is not just 1 elections. And if you go through the process, because you are going for 1 but 2 elections, the BVD machine that they use, that is the verification machine, is 1. So when you verify, you are given the presidential ballot to go and cast your votes. You don't come back to verify again. You proceed to the next, and then you pick the parliamentary ballot, and then you cast. Then you are out. So I can decide to vote presidential and not vote parliamentary.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
I can even decide that, look, after verifying, I wasn't even going to vote. So if you look at their complaints that they sent, some of the complaints is that there is a difference between the BVD verification numbers and the parliamentary numbers. I don't know if you get what I'm saying.
I get it.
Yeah.
So if you take a polling station, for example, let me give you this polling station. For example, Kuja polling station. Mm-hmm. The presidential, if you look at the BVD machine, the number of persons that were verified, is 389. 389. And with the presidential vote, you will see 389. Tallies with the BVD.
Yeah.
But if you come to the parliamentary ballots, you will see the same Kuja. That is the name of the polling station. You see that I got, they wrote 388.
Okay.
For the votes.
Okay.
The total votes that were cast there. 388. And the BVD is 389. So they pick it as an issue. That the verification recorded 389, but the ballot is 388. So there is fraud.
Okay.
Where is the fraud? So if you look at the presidential, the person voted presidential and did not vote parliamentary. Because the presidential recorded 389. And such polling stations were about 10.
Okay.
That they picked.
So the numbers were not above.
No.
They were below.
They were below. In all these instances, the numbers have always been below.
Not more than.
Not more than.
Okay.
And if you listen to Tonko, he keeps talking about thousand. I don't know if you remember. He keeps talking about where they've recorded about 1,400 and something. You see, the ballots, if you take the pink sheet is divided into 4 categories. 4. The first stage has to do with ballot information. And this one, you have to fill it before the elections. That is the ballot information. So there is a question about A1, the total number of ballots issued to that polling station.
Okay.
That is A1, the total number of ballots that they issue to that polling station. On that picture, you see that the total ballots were 435. In most cases, they will give ballots more than the number on the register. Because in the event that there is a spoiled ballot, they will have the opportunity to issue a fresh ballot to the individual. Then, when you come to the second stage, you have information about the register and other lists at the polling station. That is the second category. So if you come there, the first question there is, what is the total number of persons on that polling station register? The total number of persons on that polling station register. Okay. On the original pink sheet, you know, the EC has the original pink sheets. The rest are duplicates. So when you write, there is supposed to be duplicate to the end. So on the original pink sheets, the EC has 422. 422. That is the total number of persons on that particular register. Now, if you take that particular polling station. Now, if you take the duplicates, for whatever reason, I don't know, because in duplicates, anything at all can happen. You will see that you will have there is a mark behind the 4, which you can just have a look at it. You see that there is a mark there. That looks like 1.
Yeah.
So you see 1, 4, 2, 2.
Yeah.
Have you seen it?
Yes.
That is the duplicate. But that is the total number of persons on the register.
Okay, 422.
422. Now, let me show you something where it is so important for every elections. Now, we have what we call the ballot accounting. That is the show itself, what actually took place.
Okay.
That is the election itself. That is where you have the ballot accounting.
Okay.
Now, if you go to the ballot accounting, Matthew, I got 321.
Okay.
300.
Out of 422.
Yes, out of 422.
Okay.
I got 321. Now, the NDC candidate, Daniel Nsala, he got 47. 47. And the third person, that is Donko Nepana, Eric, he got 02. Now rejected, 1. So if you put all these votes together, it's 371.
Means that some people didn't come to vote.
Exactly. So where are you getting your 1,442 from? Because this is the actual election that took place. And in Ghana, there is nowhere, there's no polling station that is more than 750.
That's why more polling stations were.
Exactly. So anywhere the polling stations, the numbers were above 1,000, they splitted that particular polling station. So you see clearly that if at a particular polling station, total ballots issue is 435. How can the people on the register be 1,422? How? Where on earth can you get that? But unfortunately, they got the judge to agree with them on some of these things. And my fear was that, look, every election that we will go into, people will vote presidential and not vote parliamentary. There is no way you can go into an election and people will vote both presidential and parliamentary. There are some people, they don't even want to vote for the MP. They have no business with voting for any of you. But somebody will choose to go there and vote for the presidential. And in ballot accounting, those differences will show. So if we have this particular judgment sitting in our books, what I will do is that the next time I'm losing election and I have my party in government, I'll just sample some of these polling stations. And then I'll make a case out of it. And then I'll make references to Nyindam's case, where the judge had agreed with some of these things, which I think that would have actually dented our democracy. Okay. So thank God that maybe the Shushorarai has come and then all this has been quashed with it. Other than that, it would have been sitting in our records.
But they had issues with the collation. Why was the collation done without their people around or their notice of where it is being done?
You see, that's what I'm saying. It was an orchestrated thing. By 10 o'clock on the 7th, the NDC in Pandai knew they'd lost the elections.
10 a.m.
in the morning. No, PM.
PM.
Yes, on the 7th.
Yeah.
They knew they had lost the elections.
They had collated their...
They have collated their results. We have collated ours. Because when you are losing elections, your party office will show. Your party office will clearly tell you whether you are winning or you are losing. So by 10, there was no single person at the NDC party office. They had all left. Because the result was huge that they knew they had lost. So we all started a collation. The EC started. Normally, the EC starts late because they will wait for most of their people to come with the ballot boxes and all those, because they have to engage them one-on-one. But in our case, you pick the results far, and they just give you your pink sheet, and then you do your collation, and you are good to go. So the next morning, around 9 thereabout, where His Excellency the Vice President, our candidate by then, Dr. Mahmoud Baumia, when he conceded that he had lost the election, it was then that they came to attack the Collation Center. They came, there were footages, we played all this thing at the court. So they came to attack the Collation Center, destroyed most of the materials for the Electoral Commissioner, and decided to cause problem. So young men, everybody came around. So we finished the collation. The collation was actually done. It was time for declaration. Then the candidate came with his men and resisted that they were never going to allow the collation to take, the declaration to take place. What do? looking at the young men and looking at lives at stake at that time, the EC called region, and the region said, we should all come there for the declaration and whatever process that has to take place. They were there. The EC made the announcement. They refused to go. They refused to go.
When you had to change the venue.
When the venue has to be changed.
So the venue you were changing was not for collation, but for declaration?
Yes, because we had finished everything. They were there. The candidate himself was there. He came with his men and resisted that they were never going to allow the EC to do the
But you said they vandalized property.
Yes.
By the time they were vandalizing,
yes,
you were still collating.
No, obviously the collation has to come to a stop. But after that, the process continued.
So they didn't touch.
They destroyed some of the pink sheets.
So how did you collate that?
So fortunately for the EC, they had some of their pink sheets through the electronic system. Okay. So they had some of them. Yeah. And some of the places they actually attacked, the collation had already been done.
Oh, okay.
Some of the pink sheets that they destroyed, they had already collated those places and had this electronic thing. So even the 41 police stations that they complain about, when we went to the court, the EC provided 38 original pink sheets.
Oh, okay. But 3.
Only 3 that they succeeded in destroying.
Okay.
The 38 pink sheets were intact, and the originals were presented to the court. But unfortunately, the judge, for some reason, decided not to make use of the original pink sheets, but depended on the duplicates to do whatever analysis that he wanted to do. Because if you take the original pink sheets, some of the things they were also complaining about had to do with that. They did not, some of the range of ballots were not recorded on their pink sheets. But some of these things, it has no bearing on the actual elections. But if you take the original pink sheets, some of the complaints were mute because the original pink sheets, the indications were there. Depending on the pen that you were using and the level of pressure that you put on the pen, some of the duplicates, you can't get the...
Which means the EC has to work on the duplicate.
I think so. Going forward, they have to work on it. Because all these things had to do with the duplicates, but the originals were all showing. So when we got to the court, they refused to go. So we went there to Tamale to proceed from where your question that I went to Tamale. And when we got there, some of their men were there. Their original secretary was there. The man who is currently the National Lottery, who is heading the National Lottery.
Okay.
He was there. We met all of them at the regional office. The processes we went through, one of them was called Dr. Afoyo, I don't know his name. He was representing the president there. They took the pink sheet, they looked at it, and then the declaration was done. But in court, they denied that they were not informed.
Okay.
But if you take the law, that's where sometimes we are all worried. If you take the law of declaration, it clearly states that the CI tells you that whether the agent is present or not, you must declare. Okay? It is for these reasons that that particular law was written. Because if I realize that I'm losing elections, I just have to leave the collation center. And then that is all. The next day, as I said, I wasn't there. I wasn't informed. What proof do you have? You don't have any proof. Because the announcement the EC made, he couldn't have been recording himself at the same time making the announcement. And they are denying that they were not told. And the EC told everybody. But the judge, for some reason, did not look at the law. He decided to do whatever he wanted to do. Okay.
Well, I want to know if I'm explaining what happened in Pandai constituency to say a 15-year-old, very basic understanding is that people turned up or showed up that day and decided that they will not vote for the presidential candidate, but they would vote for the parliamentary candidate. That's a very basic understanding, correct?
Yes, there were some people who came, voted presidential, and did not vote parliamentary.
And did not vote parliamentary as well.
And it's not Panda alone. It's widespread. It's just that because Panda has become a case study, that's why we are making
references. Are the numbers significant?
Maybe one person. Most of these places, one person.
Okay.
One person who voted presidential and did not vote parliamentary.
Okay.
Like I told you about Kuja. The total ballot issues was 389.
Okay.
But the persons voted for parliamentary was 388.
Okay.
So difference 1.
Okay. So the numbers that the NDC is contesting, it's not even that it's a large number that people showed up. Because when I interviewed Tanko Computer, the understanding I got was that, how can you tell me that people showed up at the polling center, they voted for Nyindam and will not vote for the presidential candidate? So I was quite lost.
Most of these cases, it's just one person.
So it's not even significant.
No. So if you put all those votes together, they're not up to 20 votes. So, because those polling stations are 10. And the difference is only just 1. So if you put all those votes together, it's 10 votes.
Do you anticipate any problem should the NDC trigger another leg of this conversation again? Because, of course, you have just reminded us, and we know that what you went to court was traditional matter.
Yeah.
They quashed the etc. Right? Yeah. When they decide to want to go a different leg, do you anticipate any problems that you've been through already again?
Well, I don't know which other leg they want to go. Because if you look at the Shushorarai, it is clear that they fall out of time. And they shouldn't have even invoked the jurisdiction of the court in the first place.
So no matter this purported fraud and whatever it
all
is,
those things
will all fall under the time period.
Exactly. Because they after gazettes, you have 21 days.
Doesn't matter how you feel.
It doesn't. It's about 21 days. So 21 days, you file your petition on the 25th of January, 2025. And the gazette was 24th December 2024, way above the period. They keep talking about that Matthew, I have fraud, I've done what and what.
They haven't provided particulars, by the way.
They just keep saying this. And I said, look, MFA, I didn't go to court.
They went to court.
You went to court. So on which gazette did you go to court? I was home. I have won my elections. You decided to go to court. And it is clear per the law that you can only go to court after 21 days of gazette.
I recall.
So which gazette did you use in going to court?
I recall that right after the Supreme Court's declaration, you had a sit down with Evans here. And one thing that stuck with me was that, well, of course, your behavior and your demeanor to some people in Parliament was going to change. 2 days ago when you went to Parliament, indeed, have you changed?
Yeah, I have. I was there when one guy came to me. Oh, Matthew, I say, what's mobile? I did, and I'm saying, I'm a dreamer.
What does that mean?
Simply, he came and so. Oh, I look calm. It's not like before. What is the problem? Is it because of this my case? I say, oh, now I'm thinking of myself.
Why? It's elections. Why are you asking for fairness? It's politics. Which part of politics has been fair in the history of politics anyway?
You see, for you to win an election in Ghana or anywhere, it's not an easy task. And for somebody or some group of people, for some reason, deliberately orchestrating to get you out of Parliament.
Why you? Why not other?
I don't know. Maybe it's destiny. Because why will you, for some reason, deliberately want me out of Parliament?
Do you know the people behind? Of course, the person you contested with, you know. And of course,
not him. It's not him.
It's not him.
Oh, no. He has support from other people.
Who are these people?
Look, it's not news. If you listen to Dafeamekpor from day one, I went to Parliament after the swearing in. 2 days after, he met me at the corridors of the chamber. I'm going to get you out of this place. I'm going to get you out of this. I said, what's the meaning of that? I said, did you see me here in the 8th Parliament? Did you see me here?
You lost.
I lost, so I have no business coming here in the 8th Parliament. Did you see me? I'm here
Did you feel genuinely that you lost? You didn't feel it was rigged? You didn't feel anything? Were you happy with the losing? I mean,
lost.
You're not happy, but did you accept it?
I accepted it in good faith. I lost by 2,000. Okay? I went there and I told my supporter that, look, man, we have lost. Let's everybody go home. After that, let's go back to the drawing board. Let's see what happens in 2024. I never created any problem. Even that, if you go to Panda, they vandalized almost all my billboards. They destroyed almost everything. They won and even started fighting again. So MFA, just what I told my people. We have lost, we have lost. After elections, you do your collation. By the time I finish my collation, I will know whether I've lost or I've won. The NDC in Panda know they lost. They know very well that they lost. They did their collation and they have lost. Have you ever heard Tanko mentioning the figure they got in Panda before?
Actually, not yet.
Never. He just talk across purpose.
Since the Supreme Court declaration, have you interacted with a NDC candidate?
So the Dafeamekpor tells you this, I'm going to get you out of this place. I don't know why. And I told him that, look, my brother, you don't control me. You are not my God. I have a God. You can't change anything about me. So leave it. So such a person is leading this crusade from the one up to now. For whatever reason, it's up to him. I don't know. So if I tell you that it is a deliberate thing, it is an orchestrated thing, you should know that, yes, from the one, even we started again, that's what Dafeamekpor told me. That's what he told me.
The NDC parliamentary candidate, have you had a conversation with him?
No, for 5 years now, I've never spoken to him.
Throughout the campaign, throughout this legal battle, not said a word to him before?
No. I don't think that we have that kind of friendship. Although we are all the same people coming from Pandai, we are brothers. That's how I see him. But we don't have that kind of conversation. But other party executives, his chairman, his secretary, all others, we are good on that. But in his case, the kind of politics he does and the kind of politics he's brought in Pandai is different. He's given everybody a hell in Pandai. Not me alone. If you want, trace his political entry into Pandai. Even within the NDC, he's causing a lot of problem for everybody. And I'm not that type.
Yesterday when you saw Dafeamekpor, what did you say to him?
Nothing.
Since you won, since Supreme Court declaration.
Yeah, since you returned.
Since you returned.
I've seen him. On this, I was in Parliament the first day he was there. I saw him. He saw me. He walked past. That's it. And I'll keep seeing him the same way. If he greets me, I'll respond. If I'm closer to him, I'll greet him.
But prior to that, was he your friend? Were you saying hello to him?
Oh yeah, we're cool. Well, Nyindam, Dafeamekpor, you know, he has a very long name. Are you getting me? So I used to tease him with, oh, Charlie, you have the longest name, Dafeamekpor, HN, so many other. And we're cool. I've never had any problem with him. But for whatever reason, I don't know. Let's see what God does.
If they will you still contest again?
Oh, yes, I'll contest.
You love to be in Parliament. You love to represent your people.
Yes, I'll contest. 2028, I'll contest. If I have life and there is no problem, I'll contest. My people will not even agree that I shouldn't contest.
You're a peaceful person.
Yes.
Why don't you go to HA and say, we're brothers? How are you doing?
Oh, I don't know what is in his mind.
You didn't know before you were interacting with him before.
But he's shown it. He's displaying it. He's displayed it. How will I?
But why will he be interested in your seat? He's not from your area.
Exactly. That's another thing. He's not from there.
I'm asking you, why do you think he's interested in your seat?
How will I know?
Maybe he's just been an NDC person.
No, is he the only NDC person? There are more NDCs than Dafeamekpor.
So they
in any case, he should have even respected me as a colleague. I've been in the front bench before him. Okay? I've been a whip before him. Okay? And that, at least, he should have respected me from that angle. Look, Mutaka, Haruna, all those people that we've served together, when we see each other, that respect is there. And I see him as our whip, Dafeamekpor as our chief whip, because if you're a chief whip, you are not limited to only your side. You take care of everybody. But for some reasons, this is how he wants it. So I'll keep my cool. I realize that he wants a battle. Maybe God will give him his own battle one day. That's what I just...
What a way to end the conversation, Kujo.
Nyindam, thank you for coming.
Thank you too. I'm grateful.
We'll continue this conversation somehow.
I'm grateful.
Thank you so much for watching the show. Kujo, you want to say bye-bye?
I don't know. Yeah, let me also once again thank Gary Nemako and his team of lawyers, and to also thank the judges for upholding the dignity and sanity of the Supreme Court. I'm most grateful. God bless them. Very grateful.